All right, today we're diving deep into a piece of technology that's just something else. It's part machine, part work of art, and honestly, part living thing. We're going to deconstruct the incredible design philosophy behind the Qilvarra Glidecraft. The first thing we learn about this craft isn't some technical spec, it's poetry. This one line, where waves remember their path. It just sets this incredibly spiritual, almost ceremonial tone. It's a huge clue that we are not just looking at some futuristic hover car. So first up, we've got to get into the Arreqqana design philosophy. Because, really, to get the Qelvarra, you have to understand the core beliefs that brought it into existence in the first place. And this, right here, this is the absolute heart of it. For the Arreqqana, the glidecraft is not just about getting from A to B. It's an extension of the driver's own will, their own spirit. It's a true instrument for creating motion. Okay, so here's its full formal name, the Qelvarra no Senador. And the definition really nails its wild identity, right? It's a living being, a spiritual tool, and a high-performance machine, all woven together into one thing. This simple phrase is the bedrock for everything else we're going to talk about. Movement must never fight itself. This is not about brute force or overwhelming power. It's all about achieving harmony, a perfect flow, and real intention. You got to keep that concept in mind as we go. And that idea of harmony, well, it leads us perfectly into our next section, the soul of the machine. We're going to pop the hood and look at the totally unique, spiritually infused tech that actually makes the Qelvarra go. It's the most basic question, right? But the answer is anything but basic. We're not talking about a simple jet engine or some anti-gravity plate. The Arreqqana approach is just far more elegant. And here you can see that philosophy in action. It's a dual force system. You've got the flame cell, which provides the raw power, the fire for the thrust. But then that's perfectly balanced by the wave coil, which channels the wave for that impossibly smooth, frictionless glide. It's a perfect harmony of what should be opposing forces. And just to be super clear, the energy source here, this Nedor, it isn't like gasoline or a battery. The sources call it a living fire essence. That means the craft is literally powered by a life force, not just some chemical reaction. Now, if the engine is that unique, you can bet the control system is too. I mean, forget everything you think you know about a steering wheel or a joystick. The Arreqqana don't see control as giving commands. They see it as forming a deep connection. So how do you actually fly this thing? Okay, this is where it gets really wild. There are no mechanical inputs at all. The craft reads you. Your breath, your very breathing controls your speed. Your heartbeat guides your direction. And your focus literally determines the path you take. It's the ultimate intuitive interface. And this is the physical interface for all that, the thread resonance hand control ring. Your hands don't even touch it. They just hover right above it. And the key word there is listen. The craft listens to your body's most subtle cues. It doesn't just obey a crude push or pull. Okay, so we know how it's powered, we know how it's controlled, but now, let's talk about the experience. What does it actually feel like to be in one of these? What can it do? Well, it's incredibly versatile. You've got this low-altitude drift for just, gracefully sailing through cities or across open deserts. Then you can kick it up to sky glide for long-distance travel, cruising at a pretty brisk 600 kilometers per hour. And then there's the thread dash. 1,200 kilometers per hour. Let that sink in for a second. That's the top speed you get from the thread dash burst. And remember how you control it? This absolutely mind-blowing burst of speed, it's unlocked just by taking a deep breath and holding a calm, stable emotional state. This is power that is directly tied to personal discipline. What a wild departure from our tech, where more power usually means less finesse. And in that same spirit, its defenses aren't some big, clunky shield. The Arreqqana approach protection with that same elegance, framing it as a woven whisper instead of a brute force wall. But don't let the name fool you, that whisper is incredibly effective. It's this soft, woven barrier of moving glyphs that surrounds the craft, protecting it from pretty much everything, from space debris and bad weather all the way to sonic booms and even unstable pockets of gravity. And this quote just brings it all home, doesn't it? The shield's calm, pulsing nature is proof that power doesn't have to be violent. The flame doesn't rage, it breathes, and so does the technology. Okay, for our final section, we're going to zoom out a bit. We're moving from the machine itself to its place in the world. How does this remarkable craft actually fit into Arreqqana society and their culture? This is where movement gets its meaning. And the Qhelvarra is not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. We see these amazing specialized versions, each one beautifully adapted to its home. The coastal edition has this softer, wave-like form for humid winds. The mountain one is sharper, with stabilizers for that thin, high-altitude air. And the desert version is shielded against the extreme heat with these gorgeous rose gold flame cells. I mean, the design literally lives and breathes with its environment. And look who's using it. It's integrated across their whole society. Yeah, sure, the noble houses have them, but it's also a super practical tool for mountain travelers, desert runners, and even temple couriers who are carrying sacred messages. It's both a luxury and a total necessity. This is maybe the most fascinating part. It's dual identity. On one hand, it's a status symbol, but it's not measured by money. Instead, the actual clarity of the glowing runes on its hull shows off the driver's emotional discipline and their inner calm. So at the exact same time, it's a spiritual instrument whose resonance can actually help the driver meditate and find that balance. Your vehicle is both a reflection of and a tool for your own inner state. I mean, this tagline from the source material just perfectly wraps up that whole relationship. You don't just operate the Qhelvarra, you inhabit it. You drive with your breath, and you travel with your soul. And this is where we end up. The Qhelvarra isn't just a machine that's been infused with spirit, it's a technology that is actively learning the language of spirit. And it just leaves you wondering, what if our own technology was designed not just to serve our bodies, but to actually resonate with our souls? What would that even look like?